All I'm trying to say is when Bill says under the law, you say, what law? What law do you believe I'm under? What law do you believe controls me? What law? And then if he says the Australian Act of 1972, say, sir, I wasn't even born in 1972. I certainly couldn't have signed I couldn't have signed myself under the law. I couldn't have possibly placed myself under the law. I did not contract. My name, I guarantee, sir, in 1972, you're not going to find it in that law. You're not going to see my name, Karl, within that law anywhere. So, no, that law does not bind Karl. It does not bind I as a man, nor does it bind my name, Karl. It has to be expressed, not implied, to be a good law.
Well, that's
you just have to get right. So, like I'm saying, right now, you just going on and on and on. You have to learn some very basic, simple, like concepts or beliefs or strategy to play this game. You can't just keep jumping up and down like a Nancy boy and keep saying, that's not fair, that's not fair, you have no power over me, that's no fair. You know, they don't care. They're going to say, you know what?
I realize that.
You're going to have to start talking to them like a man on man to hold them liable. Because you can only hold a man liable for what he believes. So you just say, Bill, do you believe I owe you a debt? No. Bill, do you believe I owe Australian IRS a debt? Well, the law says. No, Bill, I don't care what the law says, Bill. I'm asking you, do you believe I do? What do you believe, Bill? Tell me, Bill. What do you believe, Bill? Just talk to me, man. Do you believe I owe it? Tell me. And then he'll never say yes. He'll never say yes because he'll say, I don't know what to believe. I don't know what I believe. See, I just came over the Canadian border the other day. Lovely border patrolman up there. Lovely. They laid a whole bunch of my money out there on the table. And they said, do you have any Canadian money or United States money? I said, why would I have Bill's or Bobby's or Susie's money? And they said they had all the money laid across the table. They said, do you have any Canadian or United States money? I said, why would I have Bill's, Bob's, Sue's, or Canadian or American, U.S. money? If I had Bill's or Bob's or Susie's money or United States money, wouldn't it be proper for me to give it back? Why would I be doing with somebody else's property? Why would I have some possession of somebody else's belongings? Why would I have the United States money? Why would I have Canadian money? Why would I have Bob's or Sue's or Bill's money? That would be, wouldn't that be like kind of like theft, or wouldn't that be a good idea to give it back if I did have something that belongs to somebody else? I said, no, that money is my money. And he says, how much money do you believe is here? I said, sir, all I know is I believe I exist. All I know is that God is, all I know is God is true. Only God could know what's true. I don't know what's on that table. He said, do you believe, how much money do you believe is there? I said, how much money do you believe is there? I said, because all I know is I believe that I exist. And if I don't, the only thing I know is true is God's true. You ask me. He kept asking me, what do you believe is on that table? How much money do you believe is there? I said, sir, you tell me what you believe. I said, I just told you I believe in God. Only God knows what's true. I have no idea what's on that table. You see how simple this is? And the guy, obviously the border patrolman, the passport, the guy when we came in and had to do our passports, obviously he didn't like those kind of answers, but he didn't give me no hard time. He knew what I was doing. He just kept asking me, what do I believe? So I flip it back on them. Well, what do you believe? Do you believe I owe a debt? Do you believe I owe somebody money? Do you believe I owe Australian money? Do you believe that's Australian money? He just asked me a simple question. He says, do you have any Canadian money? No. Do you have any United States money? No. He says, then what's this? I said, it's my money. Why would I have the United States or Canadian money or Bob's money or Susie's money or Bill's money? That wouldn't be very nice of me, would it? It wouldn't be very proper. I bet the money that I just pulled out of my pocket, that better be my money. See how simple this is? If he said, well, it's United States money, I'm going to give it back to the United States, I'd say, well, then go ahead. Because I just told him it was somebody else's money, not mine. If he says, how much money do you believe is there? What if I had set a certain amount, and he'd say, well, you can't have more than $5. Any more than $5, we're going to give it to the United States or give it to somebody else. I said, I don't know. You tell me what do I see there? I don't know. You see any money there? I don't know. What do you believe? I believe I exist. And the only thing I believe is that God will tell me what's true, hopefully. I said, I don't know what's true. I'm just taking a guess. You think there's money there, sir? You tell me what you think that's worth. I don't know what the value of that piece of paper is. You tell me what you believe it's worth. You tell me what you believe you see there. Tell me. You got the badge. You're the Border Patrolman. Lovely kid. Wonderful, wonderful time we had there. He really did his job great. But it was a lot of fun. There was no cursing. There was no yelling. He was laughing his ass off. Me and my buddy, we were laughing our asses off. But they're just trying to play a game. And I'm not falling for the game. So it's just a game they're playing with you, and you're getting all wrapped up and getting all excited and getting all upset. Over what? Play the game. Learn the words of the game. Enjoy the game. Like you hear Bali laughing in the show. He's thinking it's a lot of fun now. Bali used to jump up and down, scream, kick his feet like crazy, man. Bali was very upset for years. He used to see all the paperwork he generated. Now he looks at people's paperwork and laughs. He says, oh, these poor fools. He says, somebody sends him 10 pages. He says, I'm not reading this stuff, Carl. I refuse to do so. And Bali used to write hundreds of pages. And he's like, what a joke. He says, now he knows the game. He says, this is getting to be so much fun. All you folks have to know is to learn a game. These people just ask you very simple questions.
Yes. So I'm kind of wondering now, should I just contact them first or wait for them to contact me?
Well, I'm sure. Did you get a course? Did you get a letter from some government agency over there?
No, I haven't gotten anything yet. They haven't approached it in any way.
Okay, then what makes you believe that someday you're going to get a letter from this agency? What makes you think that this is going to happen?
Because I haven't lodged the tax return.
Oh, okay. And you just in Australia they
yes, they have they put it down in their pieces of paper that you should every year you should lodge a tax return or whatever, but
okay.
It's still based on voluntary. So if you don't lodge a tax return,
so you telling me no man or woman has ever came up to you and said that you have to do this? You believe you're reading something on a piece of paper? Has any man or woman from this agency ever came to you and said, hello, fill this form out, or are you just reading it on a piece of paper?
No one's approached me, but they do, because I know people that have been approached after.
Okay, I'm asking you. I'm asking you. Has anybody from this agency ever approached you?
No.
Okay.
No one.
So what makes you believe that there's somewhere in the law that says you must know how to read and write? What happened if you were German and they handed you this piece of paper? Would a German man who lives in Australia be able to read this piece of paper?
Obviously not.
Obviously not. So what makes them, why do you have to have the ability to read? Who said that you must read? Is there a law in Australia that says you must read?
No, not that I'm aware of.
Then what makes you think that you have to read? Well, is there some law in Australia that says that you must put a paper in front of you and a pen in front of you and confess and tell the whole world everything about yourself? How much money you make, where you work, where you go, where you shop, what you buy? Is there something in Australia that says you have to put a pen in your hand, a piece of paper in front of you, and start confessing?
No.
Then why don't you just ask them simple questions like that instead of getting all silly? Where's that law that says I must pick up a pen, I must put ink in it, I must take a piece of paper before me and confess, and I must write where I work, how much money I make, what my children's names are? Why do you say, where's the law in Canada? Oh, Canada. Australia, that compels me to perform and confess for you people. How about just calm down and just think along those lines a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty simple, huh?
Yeah.
Like that's why you need to listen to a lot more than 6 of my shows. You go on YouTube, just Google my name on YouTube. Just put it on YouTube.com, not YouTube.au if you got an Australia thing, just YouTube.com. And get away from the Australian website and do quote unquote, do my name, Karl Lentz. You know what quote unquote means, Karl Lentz. And there's 300-400 shows in there, 300 little tiny sections, like 2-minute sections, 3-minute sections that I just said to you right now. Is there anything in Australian law that says a man or a woman must take paper, ink, and pen and confess? And tell the whole world everything about yourself? How much money you make, where you work, where you go, where you shop, what you buy? Is there something in Australia that says you have to read? Is there something in Australia that says you must know how to read and write? What makes you think that you have to read?
No.
in their hand, they must sit down once a year and confess all the money they made that year. There's some law that says they have to do that. I didn't say citizen. I said if they're a man, does it say a man and a woman, or a man or a woman?
Yeah,
that's all I consider myself. I just consider myself a man. It says, well, all Australian citizens. So it's like, look, I don't know anything about Australian citizens, but I sure know I'm a man. I sure know I could go to any place on planet Earth as an Australian. I said, and I know I could go, say, China. I could go to Zaire. I could go to Ethiopia. I could go to Uganda. I could go to Nepal. And I guarantee when I go there, the people there will see me as a man. They won't know I'm Australian, but they know I'm a man. Well, they look at me and say, that's an Australian citizen for sure. Well, no, but they'll know I'm a man. So the only thing I'm definitely sure of and I'm definitely aware of is that I'm a man. Because you look back in 1988, 1989, there used to be something on planet Earth called Soviet Union citizens. Now, there is no more Soviet citizens. What happened? Did they all just disappear? Did you just tell me like a billion of them just walked off planet Earth? No, but you better believe there's a man there who's living in Moscow, and there's a man there who's living in Leningrad. He's still there. But is he a Soviet citizen anymore? No. So what happened? Did he just disappear as a man? No, he remained as a man. Is he a Soviet citizen anymore? Of course not. Soviet citizenship was ridiculous. He exists as a man. He doesn't exist as a Soviet citizen. That's ridiculous. Only on a piece of paper would it say that he's a Soviet citizen. Any place else on planet Earth, that's where he's a man. It's just my stuff is a lifestyle. My stuff is a belief. My stuff isn't something you read in a book. This is all simple common sense stuff that I do. I'm telling you, an Aborigine, where does he write his laws? On a rock? Where's an Aborigine? They've been there for 10,000 years. Where do they record their laws? In the dirt? On the backside of a kangaroo? Where do they record their law? In their hearts, in their minds, in their traditions, in their customs, in the people, in the way they live.
Yeah.
That's how they carry on.
Generation.
That's called common law. That's all I do is common law. Common sense, common law. That's all I try to teach people is common sense. I don't teach anything out of books. You think I'm going to study Australian code? You got to be kidding me. You think I went over to England and helped Bali get out of that the predicament he was in, those 5 charges he had, because I started studying English law or English common law or English statutory codes? No. All I did in court was speak common sense. Sure, everything that man said Bali did was illegal. Sure, Bali's guilty of all that stuff and his friend and the other 2 Punjabis. Sure. Fine. Who cares? That 1, they haven't done anything wrong. 2, this is a common law land. And 3, there's no man is claiming that no man has come forth and made a claim that he's done any harm to them. There's been no wrong. So what's the point of this poor barrister guy and the Crown prosecutor going on and on and on for 2 hours? What a waste of time. We already said everything Bali did was illegal. We already said he's guilty as charged. In a common law land, you still need a man to come forth and make a claim that Bali did something wrong. It's that simple. This is what I'm trying to say, ma'am. It's the same thing with an Aborigine. They would have to come forth within their little tribe, and they'd have to say that the man there has done something wrong. And then by their customs or beliefs or practices, they'll deal with it accordingly. That's all. You don't have to get locked up in the paper world, just like the Aboriginal people. For 10,000 years, they didn't get locked up in the paper world. You're not bound by a piece of paper. They're not. Well, if you wish to be bound by a piece of paper, go for it. But look at this piece of paper that is in front of you. It's 8.5 by 11. They say to you on this piece of paper, they say, is this you? You say, what, are you crazy? Do I look like I'm 8.5 inches wide by 11 inches tall? Of course I'm not a piece of paper. This is ridiculous. So you got to start getting the concept in your mind that a piece of paper world is over here and the world of man is over there. So when they try to say, well, the Act of Australia, 1972, it's like, are you talking about a piece of paper? Are you saying a piece of paper? Yeah, but I'm not a piece of paper. I'm not bound in that paper. I'm over here. I act like a man.